going to learn how to write a check, how to fill out the check register, and how to identify the parts of the check. Starting off, we're writing a check to Walmart. It's the pay to the order of. This is who you are writing the check to. If you are writing a check to a friend, you are going to also put your friend's name on the line. Also, you want to make sure you draw a line all the way across so no one can put any other names or and/ors in the slot. The date is obviously 6/18/10. The amount of the check you're writing to is $25. Make sure you put the amount of the cents. On this line, this is how you're spelling out how much money the check is worth. So it's $25, and make sure you have your spelling accurate. $25 and 00 over 100. So it's the cents over 100. And make sure you draw the line so no one can add any other amounts. The for, or sometimes on other checks, it's called memo, which is what you wrote the check for. In this instance, you wrote it for supplies. And finally, this is where your autograph or your signature goes. And make sure you spell out your whole name, your legal name. And at the top, this information, I just put roofing, but because of the small line, you're supposed to put your first name, so it would be Katie Roofing. Your address would be 900 West Perry Street, and then Bucyrus, Ohio 44820. So that's how to write the check, and down here to write the check register, you're going to write the check number, which you will find at the top, the date, the description of the transactions, who you wrote the check to. And this says payment debit. This was a payment. You paid $25 to Walmart. This section is deposit or credit, but we didn't have a deposit or credit. And our total balance in our account was we have $100, so you subtract 100 minus 25 to get $75 left in your account. Next, we are going to write another check to demonstrate, to help you learn a little bit more. Alright, remember that once I'm writing them on the board, you're also writing them on your own paper in front of you. Here's a check that's written to Bucyrus City Schools. I've already completed the check and wrote it out. I want you to double check the check and the check register to make sure everything is complete and correct. Remember, you're learning how to write a check, how to fill out the check register, and identify the parts of the check. We'll go over the parts of the check one more time before the end of the lesson. This is the last check you're going to write. Make sure you put your information, which is Katie Roofing, 900 West Perry Street, Bucyrus, Ohio 44820. The check number is 103. You're going to put the date, 6/18/2010. Once everybody is ready, we will begin writing the check. The check is going to be written to Erica Spiller. Even though she is a friend, this is who I'm writing the check to because I owe her money for her graduation gift. The amount the check is going to be written for is $25. This is the part you're going to write out the amount for the check. This says 22 and 50 over 100. So I wrote the check for $22.50. So I went ahead and signed my name, SKR, and this check was complete. So I need to go down here to the check register. Check 103, the date 6/18. Who I wrote the check to was my friend. So I'm going to go ahead and put friend in the line. The amount was $25. Then at the end, I don't have any more money left. I spent it all. So, if you're looking at this check, do you notice anything that is wrong? I'll tell you there are several mistakes on this check. Either I didn't fill something out correctly or I wrote the wrong thing on the line. you're going to have to notice through the semester that you're going to have to find mistakes of checks to find how to write them correctly. So in this portion, we're going to go through and circle the mistakes on the check. The first mistake is 22. I didn't write the check for $22. I wrote it for $25. Another mistake on the check was the cents. And I didn't fill out the 4. So for the 4, I needed to write what I was writing it for, and the cents is supposed to be 00 over 100. And I forgot to write my line, so someone else could have wrote and $100 on there. And my signature is not how my name is supposed to be. It's supposed to be Katie Roofing, the whole entire spelling out. On the check register, I wrote friend. If I would write friend, I have a lot of friends, so I would not remember who the check was supposed to be for. So I make sure I write Erica Spittler. Down here, I should have a 0 because that would tell me that I have no more money in my account. Now this section, I'm going to go through and erase what's in the circles that is wrong, and we're going to correct it. Like I explained before, this part will say 20 and the word 5. F-I-V-E. The next mistake we're going to correct is the cents over 100. I'll go ahead and keep the 100 because that's correct. I need to change it to 00. And then don't forget to draw your line. We're going to write her a check for her graduation. So she graduated, so I'm writing her a $25 check for her gift. For example, if you are at Walmart, you can write groceries on this list. And now we're going to change my KR to my actual signature. The reason why you want to sign your whole name out is because if you just have KR, someone can easily write the same thing and forge your checks. If you ever wondered why doctors always have a scribble as their signature, so someone cannot take their signature. Down at the check register, we're going to correct friend because that was wrong. Like I said, you want to be specific about what you wrote up here should be the same thing down here. What if I'm going to abbreviate, just write ES because I know who she is. And what if down the line I look through my checks and I do not know what ES stands for? So you have to be specific and write Erica Spittler. It's the same as above, so it's ERIKASPITLER. And finally, the last mistake on this check register is what we have for the amount at the end. Drawing the line doesn't tell me how much money I have because it could have wrote an error on my check. So I'm going to want to make sure I put $0.00. To review one more time, the pay to the order of is the person you are writing the check to or the place. So it can be Walmart, Bucyrus Schools, Erica Spittler. Those are 3 different examples of who you can write the check to. Make sure you fill out the date, the amount of the check. This is the number portion. The number, you're going to write the number. Right here, you're going to spell out the number. So you're going to have to spell out 25 and 00 over 100 and draw your line. Also draw your line up here. 4, or your memo, you're going to write what your check was for. And finally, your signature. And remember, this is your account number, your routing number, and your check number. So just remember, you already learned how to write a check, how to fill out a check register, and you know the parts of a check.